Golden Horn King and Silver Horn King. Even demons can be filial sons. The 24th and 25th trials of the 81 calamities. Protagonist: Golden Horn King, Silver Horn King. Weapon: 7-star sword. Characteristics: Golden Horn King is meticulous, Silver Horn King is impulsive. Both are filial. Weaknesses: recognize the demon as relative, greedy, weak abilities. Time passes swiftly, and another year brings the vibrant beauty of spring. Streets and alleys are adorned with scenes of gentle breezes blowing through willows, courtyards blooming with begonia, embodying the essence of the season. However, in the rugged peaks of Pingding Mountain, spring fails to bring any hint of its charm. The area is shrouded in mist, with trees casting shadows and wild beasts frequently traversing the forest, giving the mountain an eerie and foreboding atmosphere. In this very mountain lies the Lotus Flower Cave, home to two demons, Golden Horn King and Silver Horn King. Their names reflect their unusual appearance. Both have striking features with glaring eyes and strange faces, with a golden horn and a silver horn protruding from their heads. Golden Horn King wears armor made of dragon scales and a red cloak that resembles flames, while Silver Horn King wears armor of dark iron. From a distance, the two demons gleam with golden and silver light, exuding an air of wealth and grandeur. Sun Wukong carries Mount Tai on his back. After resolving the issue in the Kingdom of Treasure Elephant, Tang Seng and his disciples wasted no time and continued their journey. Meanwhile, the demons in the mountains were also active. As soon as the group reached the foot of Pingding Mountain, Golden Horn King received word from a patrolling demon. In the Lotus Flower Cave, Golden Horn King reclined on a tiger skin chair, drinking heavily while chatting with Silver Horn King, who was lounging nearby. "It's been a while since we last patrolled the mountain together. How about we go today?" suggested Golden Horn King. Silver Horn King, with his legs crossed and without even looking up, asked, "Why the sudden interest in patrolling?" "It's not sudden," Golden Horn King replied. "I heard that Tang Seng, the monk from the Tang dynasty heading to the west for scriptures, is here. He's the reincarnation of the golden cicada. They say eating his flesh grants immortality." Upon hearing this, Silver Horn King's eyes widened, and he quickly sat up. The two demons exchanged glances and then burst into wicked laughter. Silver Horn King, leading dozens of minions, waited on the path that Tang Seng and his disciples would inevitably take, planning to capture them all. Their luck was good, as they soon encountered Zhu Baji, who had come to scout ahead. After a brief battle, they managed to capture him. After their initial success, the two demons set up an ambush, planning to swiftly capture Tang Seng, Sun Wukong and Sha Wujing as well. However, when Sun Wukong approached with his Jingu Bang in hand, protecting Tang Seng, the sight of the weapon made the demons hesitate. Golden Horn King thought to himself, "Though Tang Seng is weak, his three disciples look formidable. A direct fight might not work." As he hesitated, Silver Horn King had a sudden flash of inspiration and came up with a plan. He quickly sent away the smaller demons, then focused his energy and transformed into the guise of a Taoist priest. With a shimmering star crown, flowing white hair, and an aura of tranquility, he looked nothing like a demon. After his transformation, Silver Horn King pretended to trip and break his leg, lying on the ground in the direction Tang Seng was coming from, crying out, "Master, help me! Master, please help me!" Tang Seng, full of compassion, hurried over to check on the situation, asking with concern, "Sir, where are you from, and how did you get injured so badly?" Seeing that his bait had worked, Silver Horn King delivered an Oscar-worthy performance, claiming to be a Taoist priest who had been injured by a ferocious tiger while passing through the area at night. He asked if Tang Seng could help him out of the mountain. Without doubt, Tang Seng offered his horse to the priest. Silver Horn King politely declined, so Tang Seng turned to Sun Wukong and asked him to carry the priest for a while. Sun Wukong, however, wasn't as easily deceived. His instincts told him that this priest was actually a demon in disguise. Deciding to play along, Sun Wukong picked up the priest and continued walking. As Silver Horn King lay on Sun Wukong's back, confident that his plan was nearly complete, he recited a spell to summon Mount Tai to crush Sun Wukong. Caught off guard, Sun Wukong was pinned down and unable to move. With the toughest opponent out of the way, Silverhorn King easily captured Sha Wujing and Tang Seng, and happily brought them back to his cave. As for Sun Wukong, he left him under the mountain for the time being, planning to deal with him later using the purple gold gourd and the jade pure bottle. Thus Tang Seng encountered the 24th trial on his journey to the west, encountering the demon on Pingding Mountain. The great sage tricks the little demon. Since Silverhorn brought Tang Sanzang back, Goldenhorn was overjoyed. He arranged for Tang Sanzang to be well guarded, and sent 2 clever little demons with a gourd and a vase to capture Sun Wukong. The little demons had never seen such treasures before, and quickly asked how to use them. Goldenhorn explained, "Open the container and call Sun Wukong's name. If he answers, he will be instantly sucked in and within moments will turn into a pool of pus." The 2 little demons, carrying the treasures, arrived at the spot but didn't find Sun Wukong. Unbeknownst to them, Sun Wukong had already sought help to move the mountain off his back. Seeing the 2 little demons approach, Sun Wukong's eyes gleamed with mischief as he transformed into an old Taoist, mimicking Silverhorn's appearance, and walked up to them to chat. The little demons, being inexperienced, didn't suspect anything was amiss, and were easily deceived by the old Taoist, who tricked them into handing over the gourd and vase. In an instant both treasures were gone. The 2 little demons, trembling with fear, returned to the cave and reported the incident to their kings. Goldenhorn and Silverhorn were furious, but their priority was still to capture Sun Wukong. Silverhorn remembered that they had a golden rope that could be useful in this situation, but it was with their old mother. So he ordered Ba Shanhu and Yi Hailong to invite the old mother from Dragon Suppression Mountain to feast on Tang Sanzang's flesh and to bring the rope along. Now this old mother wasn't their real mother, in fact she was a 9-tailed fox demon. Nevertheless, Goldenhorn and Silverhorn always treated her well, and whenever something good happened, they would think of her. Ba Shanhu and Yi Hailong received their orders and set off towards Dragon Suppression Mountain. Sun Wukong, who had been keeping watch near the demon's cave, saw them leave and followed them quietly. Listening to their conversation along the way, he quickly understood their purpose. Sun Wukong didn't rush. He waited until they were close to their destination before striking them down with his staff. He then picked up a branch, transformed it into Yi Hailong's form, and changed himself into Ba Shanhu. Entering the cave, Sun Wukong told the old fox demon that he had been sent by her 2 sons to escort her to feast on Tang Sanzang's flesh. The old fox demon was overjoyed, praising her sons for their filial piety. She quickly grabbed the golden rope, got into a sedan chair, and set off immediately. After walking for 5 or 6 miles, Sun Wukong noticed that the demons had gradually let their guard down. Seizing the opportunity, he showed no mercy, and swiftly dealt with the old fox demon and her accompanying little demons. The male gourd and the female gourd. Disguised as a fox demon, Sun Wukong arrived at the entrance of the Lotus Flower Cave. Goldhorn King and Silverhorn King greeted the old mother with the utmost respect, calling her mother and kowtowing. Sun Wukong, seeing their reverence, felt quite pleased. While enjoying the demon's filial piety, Sun Wukong secretly searched for the whereabouts of his master and fellow disciples. He quickly discovered that Tang Seng, Zubaji and Sha Seng were high up. They were suspended from the cave ceiling like dried meat. This was the 25th difficulty Tang Seng encountered on his journey to the west, being suspended high in the Lotus Flower Cave. As Sun Wukong pondered how to rescue them, several patrolling little demons burst in, stumbling and pointing at Sun Wukong, shouting, "He's not the old mother, it's Sun Wukong in disguise." The real old mother was killed by him on the road. Goldhorn King and Silverhorn King were devastated and furious, ready to kill Sun Wukong. Not daring to cause trouble on their territory, Sun Wukong quickly transformed into a streak of red light and fled. Silverhorn King hastily donned his armor, while Goldhorn King hesitated, suggesting they release Tang Seng and his disciples to avoid further trouble. However, Silverhorn King insisted on fighting Sun Wukong, disregarding Goldhorn King's advice, and leaped into the air to confront him. After a few rounds of combat, Sun Wukong seized the golden rope and bound the demons. However, He didn't expect the rope to have an auto-tightening function. Silver-Horned King used a spell to tighten the rope around Sun Wukong and dragged him back to the cave. Unfazed by being captured, Sun Wukong summoned his golden staff and transformed it into a steel blade, quickly cutting through the ropes. He then plucked a hair, blew on it to create a fake Sun Wukong, and disguised himself as a little demon. As Gold-Horned King handed over the golden rope, Sun Wukong subtly plucked another hair to create an identical rope, swapping it right under the noses of Gold-Horned King and Silver-Horned King. After acquiring the golden rope, Sun Wukong went outside the cave and loudly proclaimed that he was Sun Wukong's brother, called Xingzha Sun, challenging Gold-Horned King and Silver-Horned King to a fight. The two demon kings exchanged glances, confused by the unexpected appearance, but they couldn't back down. So they brought the purple gold gourd and went out to confront him. Strangely, after just a few rounds, Xingzha Sun was quickly trapped in the gourd. Pleased with themselves, Gold-Horned King and Silver-Horned King felt triumphant, thinking they had superior skills. They decided to celebrate with a feast and then go to bed. In reality, Sun Wukong had deliberately allowed himself to be captured by the gourd. He wasn't worried about being turned into pus, as he had survived being in a furnace before, and such a dose was no threat to him. After a while, Gold-Horned King and Silver-Horned King heard Sun Wukong from inside the gourd, complaining that his legs were turning to pus and then his waist. Curiosity piqued, they opened the gourd to look inside. However, Sun Wukong had anticipated this, and had already transformed into a flying insect waiting at the gourd's opening. As soon as the gourd was opened, he flew out and then quickly turned back into a little demon standing nearby. Having enjoyed the sight of Sun Wukong's predicament in the gourd, Gold-Horned King and Silver-Horned King were satisfied. They drank heartily from the wine handed to them by the little demons, and casually passed the purple gold gourd. Sun Wukong swiftly created a fake gourd, skillfully pulling off the switch. With the treasure in hand, Sun Wukong felt emboldened to provoke them again. This time he claimed to be Jie Xingsun coming for a challenge. Silver-Horned King, irritated and feeling that the trouble was endless, took the purple gold gourd and went to face him, determined to end this once and for all. When he saw Jie Xingsun, he hadn't even opened the gourd yet, but heard the monkey say, "We both have a purple gold gourd, but yours is the female gourd and mine is the male gourd, so your gourd won't work in the presence of mine. If you don't believe it, let's have a bet. We'll each call the other's name and see whose gourd is more effective." Silver-Horned King didn't believe this and thought it was a trick, but agreed to the bet. He opened the gourd and called out, "Jie Xingsun." Sun Wukong responded several times without any effect. When it was Sun Wukong's turn to call the name, Silver-Horned King had a sense that something was off, but he had already agreed to the bet and had to follow through. As soon as he called out, Silver-Horned King was instantly sucked into the gourd. It turns out to be a little attendant of the Supreme Lord Lao. When Gold-Horned King heard that Silver-Horned King had been captured, he slumped onto a chair, tears streaming down his face. His heart filled with pain, resentment, and frustration, and he immediately rushed out to confront Sun Wukong. However, lacking the martial prowess of Silver-Horned King, not only did he fail in the fight, but Sun Wukong also snatched the jade purity vase from him and defeated most of his underlings, leaving him all alone. With no other option, Gold-Horned King fled in panic to Dragon Suppressing Mountain to seek help. The one he turned to was none other than his uncle, his mother's brother, known as Lord Fox Aki. Upon hearing that his sister and Silver-Horned King had been killed by Sun Wukong, Fox Aki held Gold-Horned King and wept bitterly. After crying, the two set out with their treasures to seek revenge against Sun Wukong. Meanwhile, Sun Wukong was preparing to leave the mountain with Tang Sanzang and his two brothers. As soon as Fox Aki saw Sun Wukong, he attacked without hesitation. Not wanting to be left out, Gold-Horned King joined the battle. Fox Aki fought against Sha Wujing for hundreds of rounds, but eventually began to lose ground. Suddenly, Zhu Baji struck him on the back with his rake, and Fox Aki collapsed, motionless. Seeing his uncle fall, Gold-Horned King hurried over to check on him, but he didn't notice Sun Wukong leaping onto a cloud and summoning the jade purity vase. Pointing it at Gold-Horned King, Sun Wukong shouted, "Gold-Horned King!" Mistaking it for one of his own underlings calling him, Goldhorn King absent-mindedly responded, and in an instant he was sucked into the vase. With 5 treasures in hand and his master rescued, Sun Wukong was overjoyed. Just as they were leaving the mountain, the Supreme Lord Lao appeared in the clouds, requesting the return of the 5 treasures. At first, Sun Wukong was reluctant to give them back, but eventually he grudgingly handed them over. The Supreme Lord Lao explained that Gold Horn King and Silver Horn King were originally his attendants in charge of tending the furnace. They had developed wicked thoughts, stolen his treasures, and descended to the mortal realm to become demons. As he spoke, the Supreme Lord Lao opened the gourd and the vase, releasing the 2 attendants, and took them back to Heavenly Court. Tang Sanzang and his disciples then continued their journey westward.